my friend Senator David Perdue, to former Governor Sonny Perdue, Congressman Rick Allen, Congressman William Timmons, the great state party chair for the GOP, David Schaefer, my fellow Americans, it is great to be back in the Peach States. The fight is on. And you know, it's great to be here with so many friends. And speaking of friends of mine, allow me to bring greetings from another friend of mine. And a man who has been fighting every day to keep the promises that he made to the people of Georgia. I bring greetings and thanks from the 45th President of the United States of America, President Donald Trump. You know, with the support of people all across Georgia and all across this country, it's amazing. This president and our team received more than 74 million votes across America. 10 million more votes than 4 years ago. We received the greatest share of minority votes of any Republican candidate for president in 60 years, and we added more than a dozen seats already to the United States Congress. And we're going to put 2 more in the winning column when we send Georgia's senators back to Washington, D.C. You know, I'm here because I stand with President Donald Trump. And we stand with Senator David Perdue and Senator Kelly Loeffler. And together, with your 2 great senators, we're fighting every day for integrity in our elections. And we're fighting every day to hold the line and save the majority in the United States Senate. It's really why I'm here. It's why the president was in Valdosta on Saturday. And that's why I'm so grateful that you all came out to this gathering in Augusta today. I don't know if you heard about it. So far, just in the last few days, 18 states have joined the Lone Star State to defend the integrity of our elections before the highest court in the land. President Donald Trump deserves his day in court, the Supreme Court. And all I can say is God bless Texas. For men and women of Georgia, I'll tell you, as our election contests continue here in Georgia and in states across the country, I'll make you a promise. We're going to keep fighting until every legal vote is counted. We're going to keep fighting until every illegal vote is thrown out. And we will never stop fighting to make America great again. That's why President Trump and I need David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back in a Republican majority in the United States Senate. You know, for all we've done, for all we have yet to do, we need the Peach State to defend the majority, because the road to a Senate majority runs right through the state of Georgia. Are you with me? You know, I'm here on the president's behalf because we need Georgia to send these 2 great senators back to Washington, D.C. We need to send them back for 3 reasons. We need to send them back because of who they are. We need to send them back because of all we've accomplished together. And we need to send them back because a Republican majority could be the last line of defense to preserve all we've done to defend this nation, revive our economy, and preserve the God-given liberties we hold dear. We need to hold the line, Georgia. But first off, I'm here just like Governor Perdue said. I'm here, and he isn't even my cousin. I'm here because of who these people are. David Perdue is a son of Macon. He worked his way to the top of the business world. Could have spent the rest of his life in leisure, but as you heard his cousin say, he and his family went to their knees, and they felt a calling to serve. After 40 years as one of the most successful business leaders in America, he answered the call to serve Georgia in the United States Senate. And I can tell you, having served alongside of this good man every day, I know of no more principled, conservative, man of integrity, or champion of President Trump's agenda in the United States Senate than Senator David Perdue. We need him back. And I'm also here because of his colleague in the Senate, fourth generation, family farmer. Grew up in the heartland of America, but got here to Georgia just as every bit as quick as she could. Built her own company from the ground up. You know her story. She broke barriers in business and sports to become one of the most successful business women in Georgia history. And in a very short period of time, I can tell you, she has emerged as one of the most courageous and principled conservative voices in the United States Senate. We need Senator Kelly Loeffler back in Washington, D.C. So President Trump and I need you to support these senators and get your family and your neighbors and your friends to do the same because of who they are. But it's also because of all that we've been able to do with their support. I mean, think about it. 4 years ago, we inherited a military that had been hollowed out by reckless budget cuts, an economy that was struggling to break out of the slowest recovery since the Great Depression. Terrorism was on the rise, and we witnessed a steady assault on our most cherished values. With the unwavering support of both of Georgia's senators, under the leadership of President Donald Trump, we rebuilt our military. We revived our economy. We secured our border, stood with law enforcement, and fought for life and liberty and the Constitution of the United States of America. It's true. You know, I have to tell you, a lot of you know me as your vice president, but the highest title I'll ever hold is DAD. And I couldn't be more proud to be the father and the father-in-law of two military fighter pilots. And I couldn't be more proud to serve alongside a president who cares so deeply about the men and women of our armed forces. With the support of your senators, President Donald Trump has signed the largest increases in our national defense since the days of Ronald Reagan. We're finally giving our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard the support they need to defend this nation. And I can tell you, from his seat on the Senate Armed Services Committee, Senator David Perdue has been there for our military every step of the way. Thank you, Senator. And it's not just been about those who serve today, but it's also about those of you who did serve in the uniform of the United States. You remember the last administration. We saw years of scandal at the VA that shocked the conscience of the nation. But when President Donald Trump came into office, with the help of your two senators, those days were over. President Trump signed the most sweeping reforms of the VA in 50 years. We fired 5,000 VA employees that weren't giving our veterans the care that you earned, and Veterans Choice is now available for every veteran in America. And from her seat on the Veterans Affairs Committee, Senator Kelly Loeffler was there for America's veterans every step of the way. And with that renewed American strength, rebuilding our military, restoring the arsenal of democracy, we took the fight to our enemies on our terms, on their soil. And we've stood with our allies as never before. At the direction of this Commander-in-Chief, the Armed Forces of the United States took down the last inch of territory under the black flag of ISIS and took out their leader without one American casualty. And when the most dangerous terrorist in the world, a man responsible for the death of hundreds of American service members, was in our sights, President Donald Trump took him out. Qasem Soleimani is gone. So we've stood up to our enemies, but we've also stood with our most cherished ally as never before. You know, 4 presidents in a row had made the promise to the American people, but it was President Donald Trump who kept his promise when we moved the American embassy to Jerusalem, the capital of the state of Israel. And Senator David Perdue and Senator Kelly Loeffler were there every step of the way. So it's been about America's place in the world, our national security. But it's also been about our prosperity these last 4 years. After the slowest recovery in 75 years, President Trump worked with your senators and we revived our economy. We cut taxes across the board for working families and businesses large and small. We rolled back more federal regulation than any administration in history. We fought for free and fair trade, unleashed American energy, and in 3 short years, we saw 7 million good-paying jobs created, including 350,000 right here in the state of Georgia. And your senators were there every step of the way. And as we made our way this year through one of the most challenging years in our lifetimes, on that solid foundation that we poured of less taxes, less regulation, a growing American economy. At the height of the coronavirus pandemic, we'd lost 22 million jobs. With the strong support of your 2 senators, with the relief efforts that President Trump secured from Congress, we've been opening up America again. We've already seen 12 million Americans go back to work. The American comeback is happening. And speaking of that pandemic, I have to tell you how grateful we are. Senator Perdue and Senator Loeffler for their support all along the way. At President Trump's direction, early this year, we launched the greatest national mobilization since World War II. We reinvented testing. We saw the delivery of billions of medical supplies to our doctors and nurses and hospitals. We managed to distribute hundreds of thousands of medicines and therapeutics. And as I stand here today, while the other side said it would never happen, it would take a miracle, we're just a few days away from the approval of the first coronavirus vaccine for the American people in millions of doses. America is in the miracle business under President Donald Trump. And again, your senators were there every step of the way. And frankly, when it comes to the foundation of our prosperity and the rule of law, I couldn't be more grateful that with the support of Senator Perdue and Senator Loeffler, President Trump and I have seen more than 220 conservative judges confirmed to our federal courts at every level, including Justice Neil Gorsuch, Justice Brett Kavanaugh, and Justice Amy Coney Barrett. And I'll tell you, those 3 justices and all those judges are all men and women who will uphold all the God-given liberties enshrined in our Constitution, like the freedom of religion, the freedom of speech, and the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. You watch. Now, the last administration, you all remember it, we saw a steady assault on our values and our freedoms. They especially trampled on the religious liberty of Americans. You remember. I mean, literally, the last administration used the power of the federal government to compromise the conscience rights of doctors and nurses and religious charities. They even hauled a group of nuns, known as the Little Sisters of the Poor, into federal court to order them to compromise their faith to live under the mandates of Obamacare. And they're promising to do it again, aren't they, Senator? But we saw religious intolerance among the Democrats, the like to which we would see again if they got control of the Senate. I mean, you all remember a couple of years ago when Amy Coney Barrett was up for another judgeship. She was before the Senate Judiciary Committee, and the leading Democrat on the Senate Judiciary Committee actually told Amy Coney Barrett that she was concerned about her sincere Catholic faith. She said, and I quote, "The dogma lives loudly within you." And Hollywood liberals have been attacking Amy Coney Barrett ever since for her faith and for her values. Well, I got news for the Democrats in Washington and their friends in Hollywood. That dogma lives loudly in me. That dogma lives loudly in you. And the right to live and worship according to the dictates of our faith lives loudly in the Constitution of the United States of America. So for our liberties, for our freedoms, for the ability to live and to work and to worship according to the dictates of our conscience, we need a Republican majority in the United States Senate. We need David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back in Washington, D.C. I don't have to tell all of you who've come out on this sunny day. The stakes in this election have never been higher. The choice in this election has never been clearer. I mean, I'm here because of who they are. I'm here because of all we've done. But I'm here because this choice is so stark. Where David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler stand for a strong national defense, Jon Ossoff and Raphael Warnock are going to cut our national defense to fund their big government programs. You just watch. Where David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler cut taxes, Jon Ossoff and the radical liberal Raphael Warnock want to raise taxes on working families and businesses large and small. And where David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler support our military, Raphael Warnock has demeaned our military. And he's repeatedly defended the anti-Semitic rhetoric of Reverend Jeremiah Wright. And maybe most close to my heart, where Jon Ossoff and Raphael Warnock support abortion on demand and taxpayer funding of abortion all the way up to the moment of birth, David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler will always stand for the right to life. Thank you, Dave. You all know what the stakes are here in Georgia. I mean, Chuck Schumer couldn't have said it better, right? Chuck Schumer said, quote, "Now we take Georgia, then we change America." Well, I got another message for Chuck Schumer and the Washington Democrats. We're going to keep Georgia. We're going to save the Senate, and then we're going to save America. I mean, for real. Our agenda is American greatness. Their agenda is American decline. Jon Ossoff and Raphael Warnock advance a socialist agenda of higher taxes, open borders, government takeover of health care, a Green New Deal, defunding the police, packing the courts, and that's just for starters. Jon Ossoff and Raphael Warnock are wrong for Georgia and wrong for America. That's why we need Georgia to say no to Ossoff and Warnock and yes to Senator David Perdue and Senator Kelly Loeffler on January 5th. But I came here today to say from my heart what you heard the President say the other night in Valdosta, that I need you to say to all of your neighbors and friends. In these challenging times in the life of our nation, Georgia, stay in the fight. Stay in the fight for integrity in our elections. Stay in the fight to defend the Republican majority in the Senate. And stay in the fight until the polls close on January 5th and we send David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back to Washington, D.C. Stay in the fight to keep America great. That's what's on the line. To preserve the progress that we've made. To protect our values and our liberties. We need you to do a couple of things, folks. First off, we need you to vote, Georgia. Vote to send David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back to the United States Senate. I'm talking basics now. And I'm told you can actually request an absentee ballot today. If you need information, you can go to georgiavotinginfo.com. They got everything you need. You have until December 31st to request an absentee ballot, and I want you to be confident about your vote. Our great GOP state chair, David Schaefer, and the senators will tell you, we're on them this time. We're watching. We're going to secure the polls. We're going to secure the drop boxes. So get an absentee ballot in today and vote. Don't wait. Get it done. And if you don't want to vote by mail, I'm told in-person voting starts this coming Monday. So mark your calendar. Come Monday morning. I check. You can go to the Bell Auditorium, 712 Telfair Street, right here in Augusta, 8:30 to 5. And remember, friends don't let friends vote alone. Bring a family member, bring a neighbor, bring a friend, and vote to send David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back to Washington, D.C. I know we all got doubts about this last election. I know I do. But I actually hear some people saying here in the Peach State, just don't vote. Well, my fellow Americans, if you don't vote, they win. If you don't vote, there could be nothing to stop Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi from cutting our military, raising taxes, and passing their agenda to the radical left. So I want to say to you from my heart, for all we've done, for all we have yet to do, for our president, for our future, for Georgia, and for America, cast another vote for all President Trump has accomplished. Cast a vote to send David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back to the United States Senate. And I promise you we're going to keep on fighting. You know, we can fight for our president and fight for more Republicans in the Senate at the same time. We've done both. We're going to keep doing both. We're going to keep fighting to make America great again. So here's the deal. Here's the deal, Georgia. It might all come down to you. And Georgia has got to hold the line on January 5th. Will you do it? I'll tell you, I have no doubt you will. I really do. But I want to challenge you right after you vote, either absentee or early in person or come January 5th. Whenever you cast that vote, just spend every other minute that you have reaching out to your neighbors and friends. Tell them I was out at the airport in Augusta the other day. I ran into Mike. President was down in Valdosta. These guys just keep coming back to Georgia. You got to tell people this re-electing these two great senators isn't just about Georgia. It's about America. Go tell your neighbors and friends. It's on the line. Tell them everything we talked about today, everything that we've done, everything we have yet to do. I mean, it all comes down to the Peach State. But I leave here today with renewed confidence. And I got to tell you, seeing this big crowd out today, I got a feeling we're going to bank a big win come January 5. How about you? I mean, we live in uncertain times, don't we? In my house, you know, we have a saying. We don't know what the future holds, but we know who holds the future. So as we work to stand with our president, protect the integrity of our elections, as we work to save the majority in the United States Senate, I'd encourage you, if you have a mind, to do one more thing. If from time to time you bow the head and bend the knee, I'd encourage you to do that too. Be a good time to pray for Georgia and pray for America. And in these divided times, I'd encourage you to pray with confidence. Claim that ancient promise that Americans have clung to in much more challenging times than we could even imagine. That if his people who are called by his name will humble themselves and pray and turn, he'll do like he's always done in the long and storied history of this state and nation. He'll hear from heaven and he'll heal this land. This one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So pray for America, and pray for all of those standing in the gap for everything we hold dear. But I want to thank you for coming out today, and I just know if all of us do all that we need to do between now and January 5th, I know if Georgia votes your values and your convictions, if you vote to send David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back to a Republican majority in the United States Senate, if you keep standing with this president until every legal vote is counted, that with the support of people all across this state and with God's help, we're going to keep on winning. We're going to defend the Senate. We're going to keep making America great again. We will win Georgia and save America. Now let's go get it done, Georgia.